Okay, read through the problem statement. Your pre-lab says to make a prediction about each one of these three problem statements. And then answer that, write your predictions below. Be sure to also read through the procedure carefully. So there's your procedure. Read all of that carefully. Notice your data table. You're doing 6 trials. The racquetball, which for us is actually that mini wiffle ball, and then the tennis ball, the baseball, and each one of these you're doing from a steeper ramp from counter height and a shallower ramp from chair height. You'll be measuring the distance, the length of the gutter, that's the distance that each one of these travels. Once you measure this once, the ramp isn't going to change, the length isn't going to change. This is going to be the same for all of them. You're also measuring the time it takes for each one of these to go the length of the gutter. So your time and your length go together. Then you'll be calculating velocity. Velocity is distance divided by time. Show your work down here for calculating velocity, the distance divided by the time. You'll also be taking the mass of each of the balls in kilograms. Be careful because your balances measure it in grams, and you are going to need to convert to kilograms. So you're taking your decimal point and moving it 1, 2, 3 to the left. Then once you have the velocity and the mass, you can calculate momentum. Make sure you show your work down here. Momentum is mass times velocity. Momentum is mass times velocity. You're also measuring in centimeters how far the softball moved from the bottom of the ramp after that collision. Okay, mass of the baseball is 142.26 grams. Oops. Mass of the tennis ball is 56.88 grams. And the mass of the mini wiffle ball is 4.81 grams. But remember that when you put this in your data table, you need to convert your grams to kilograms. Measure the length of the gutter, and this one is 3.06 meters is the length of the gutter. Next, you're gonna have somebody time how long it takes for each one of these to go down the ramp, and make sure you've got the softball set up at the end so that you can measure how far the softball travels. TJ, you're timing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ready? Set, go, stop. What was the time for counter height?
1 second and 52 milliseconds.
So 1.52 seconds, and that was counter height tennis ball.
Yes.
And the counter height tennis ball moved the softball 196 centimeters.
I'll reset it now.
All right. And get the softball back to the bottom. Okay, let's actually do our chair height tennis ball. All right, you ready?
All right.
Set, go, stop. And chair height tennis ball, move the softball 156 centimeters. Okay, why don't you stop it and then we'll just get all the data. Go ahead and use this data for your lab calculations and to answer questions.